So I think, divers usually understand quite early on what's happening with that gas in the jacket. But I think one thing that's sometimes maybe not talked about enough is that there's a second BCD that's inside the diver. It's their lungs. So I think I told you earlier that when I get my lungs measured as part of my dive medical, I have around about a 5-litre lung capacity.
Yeah.
And so although you may have set the BCD for a particular level that you want to hold, you've got this other problem now. As you breathe in, you need to have this very calm, rhythmic cycle where if you have these kind of very high peaks or these very low troughs, so of course it's going to upset your buoyancy.
Yeah.
So, as we're sitting to talk now, we're calm. We're having a fairly small shift in the gas that's moving in and out of our lungs.
Yeah.
And quite often as divers, and also there's some timing involved in when you're going to inhale into the bag, for example.
And obviously that air transferring up the SMB,
Exactly.
causing a potential buoyancy.
So what you tend to see is that people aren't aware of whereabouts in the cycle they are. And you'll find that if you are falling, the first thing I would do is I would take a breath in.
Yeah, because it's the quickest response you've got right to that
Absolutely.
issue.
The lungs now are the fastest BCD on the market.
Yeah, and you've got to breathe anyway. A lot of people think that we're like magicians as instructors and we can kind of hold our buoyancy in any position. But actually what we do is we become very good at taking that big breath in when needed.
Sure.
And then we know what correction to make on the BCD. And in that same time we're breathing out, we're letting out what we need and making that same correction.
Sure.
So when we take our next breath in, we're exactly in the middle of that cycle you're talking about, right? And that's how we know to do it.
Yeah, and I think that, diving correctly weighted means that we're not dealing with lots of gas that we're having to dump or add.
Yeah.
And I think also that, so I can quite comfortably move down the steps of the Carwella, for example, without having to adjust my BCD, which of course makes for much better photos. The hands
absolutely,
around.
yeah, you can just move and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's really building this awareness that the lungs are a way to do this. Now, I'm not suggesting that you.
Then there's probably many more things going to go wrong based on that.
Yeah, I think what I've actually really quite enjoyed is taking that idea and where we've built the control line concept. You now have a very strong way to build a diver's awareness of their level.
Yeah.
So, with the horizontal line, of course, looking straight on at the marker, it's going to tell you whether you've moved straight away. But then when we come onto the vertical line, and we've now positioned several markers on that line, I don't know what you call it, but I call it the ladder game.
Yeah, buoyancy ladder, absolutely.
Where essentially, we're
now decide what to put in. So if it's a big press, put a big press.
Yeah.
Small one, put a small one. But the point is, once you condition yourself to that, you get much more responsive and quicker at doing it.
Yep.
And you're able to stay in a static position, much sooner than we would, and that's what we want. We want you to be as stable as possible.
I think that, you're right about that kind of habit thing where, how often have you seen it when the student's going down and the hand comes out
ready to
push
press.
Exactly. Yeah. And so what we're really trying to do is kind of break that habit